Martin Luther King Jr., a name synonymous with equality and justice, began his life on Auburn Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. He was born into a close-knit family, deeply rooted in the church, that valued faith above all else. Their spiritual beliefs formed the bedrock of their lives. Education, too, was held in high regard. His parents instilled in him a love for learning and a thirst for knowledge and justice. From a young age, Martin was taught the importance of standing up for what is right and fighting for a fair world for everyone. His father, Martin Luther King Sr., was a respected minister, a powerful voice in the community, and a man who led his congregation with unwavering conviction. His mother, Alberta Williams King, was a dedicated teacher. Both taught him, through their words and their actions, that everyone, regardless of their background or the color of their skin, is equal in the eyes of God. This principle would guide him throughout his life. Growing up in the Jim Crow South, Martin faced the harsh realities of segregation. The ever-present whites-only signs, a constant reminder of the deep divisions in society, separate and unequal schools, a stark illustration of the systemic injustice, and painful moments when childhood friends, influenced by prejudice, turned away, leaving a lasting mark on his young heart. But his mother, a source of unwavering strength and wisdom, always reassured him, "You are as good as anyone." A powerful lesson that fueled his lifelong fight for justice and equality, a fight he would wage with unwavering determination. Martin excelled in school, demonstrating a sharp intellect and a thirst for knowledge. He was so advanced that he ended up skipping grades and entering Morehouse College, a historically black institution, at the remarkably young age of 15. Inspired by Mahatma Gandhi's teachings on nonviolence, a philosophy that resonated deeply with his own beliefs, he firmly believed that peaceful protest, rooted in love and understanding, could be a powerful force to change the world. His family's courage in the face of adversity and his unwavering faith shaped him into a leader, a beacon of hope for those yearning for equality and justice. He was ready to challenge injustice, not with fists or violence, but with the transformative power of love and unwavering conviction in the principles of nonviolent resistance. Surrounded by books that opened his mind to new perspectives and strong ideas that challenged the status quo, Martin learned that carefully chosen words, delivered with passion and conviction and unwavering faith in a higher power, could be incredibly powerful tools for change. He watched his father fearlessly fight for voting rights and equality for all, even when faced with opposition and threats, learning firsthand that one person's voice, when raised with courage and conviction, could indeed make a profound difference in the world. Inspired by his parents and driven by his own deep sense of justice, Martin decided to use his own voice, amplified by his education and faith, to challenge unfair laws and discriminatory practices. He was determined to lead with courage, even in the face of danger, love, extending compassion and understanding even to his adversaries, and an unwavering belief in justice, a conviction that fueled his every action and inspired countless others. The invaluable lessons he learned during his formative years, the challenges he overcame, and the values instilled in him by his family prepared him for the monumental challenges that lay ahead. He knew, with unwavering certainty, that the world could be a better place, a place where equality and justice reigned supreme, and he was absolutely ready, with every fiber of his being, to dedicate his life to helping make that vision a reality. Martin's journey, a path that would lead him to greatness and sacrifice, was just beginning. The young boy from Atlanta, shaped by his family, his faith, and his experiences, was about to embark on a transformative journey, emerging as a leader not just for his community, but for all of humanity. In 1955, a simple act of defiance ignited a movement that would forever change the course of American history. On a Montgomery, Alabama bus, Rosa Parks, an African-American woman, refused to give up her seat to a white passenger. Her courageous decision sparked a citywide boycott, a powerful demonstration of unity and resistance against the deeply entrenched segregation laws of the time. The black community, long tired of the daily injustices and indignities they faced, decided to take a stand. They stopped riding the buses, choosing instead to walk, carpool, and find alternative means of transportation. This collective action, born from a single act of bravery, launched the Montgomery bus boycott, a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. But a movement needs a voice, a guiding light. They needed a leader, someone to articulate their grievances and inspire them to persevere. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., A young and charismatic preacher new to Montgomery answered the call. He stepped forward, urging peaceful protest and nonviolent resistance as the path to achieving equality. "We must meet hate with love," he preached. "We must use the weapon of love." For an incredible 381 days, the people of Montgomery walked instead of riding the buses, enduring hardship and inconvenience to stand up for their rights. They faced constant threats, intimidation, and even violence for their unwavering commitment. King's own home was bombed in an attempt to silence him and break the spirit of the movement. He was arrested and unjustly imprisoned, but his resolve remained unshaken. From jail cells and pulpits, he never stopped preaching the power of nonviolence and the importance of unwavering faith. Finally, the boycott succeeded. The Supreme Court ruled that segregation on buses was unconstitutional, a landmark victory for the civil rights movement. Dr. King, through his leadership and unwavering commitment to justice, became a national figure, a symbol of hope and change. The Montgomery bus boycott proved that ordinary people, united in nonviolence and determined to fight for their rights, could challenge and ultimately change unfair and discriminatory laws. Inspired by this hard-won victory, King recognized the need for a more organized and sustained effort. He helped form the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC. The SCLC united black ministers and community leaders from across the South to coordinate and amplify the fight against segregation through nonviolent protest and civil disobedience. They organized marches and demonstrations, launched voter registration drives to empower black citizens, and staged demonstrations across the South, challenging segregation in every aspect of life. King's powerful speeches and unwavering commitment to nonviolence gave hope to millions, inspiring them to fight for their dignity and their fundamental human rights. The civil rights movement was growing stronger with each passing day, and so was the dream of equality, a vision of a nation where all people would be judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. The Montgomery bus boycott showed the world that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, that meaningful and lasting change was indeed possible. Nonviolence, once seen as a passive approach, had become a powerful and effective force for achieving justice and equality. The struggle for civil rights was far from over, and many challenges still lay ahead. But a new era in the civil rights movement had undeniably begun, an era of hope, determination, and unwavering commitment to justice. And Dr. King, with his vision and courage, was ready to lead the way, guiding the movement towards a more just and equitable future for all. In 1963, the SCLC targeted Birmingham, Alabama, one of America's most segregated cities. Peaceful protests were met with violence. Dr. King was jailed. From his cell, he wrote the Letter from Birmingham Jail, declaring, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." He argued that waiting for justice was not an option. Action was needed now. That summer, over 250,000 people gathered in Washington, D.C. for the March on Washington. Dr. King stood before the Lincoln Memorial and delivered his "I Have a Dream" speech. He envisioned a nation where people are judged by character, not skin color. "I have a dream," he said, calling for freedom and equality for all. His words inspired millions and pressured the government to act. The speech became an anthem for the civil rights movement. It was a turning point, uniting people across the country. King's vision offered hope and demanded change. The dream of justice and equality was now a national call. The world was listening. The movement had found its voice. The nation responded to the movement's courage and King's dream. In 1964, Congress passed the Civil Rights Act, ending segregation in public places and banning job discrimination. That same year, Dr. King won the Nobel Peace Prize for his nonviolent fight for equality. He donated the prize money to the movement, showing his commitment to justice for all. But King knew the struggle wasn't over. Poverty and inequality still trapped millions. He began to speak out for economic justice, believing everyone deserved fair wages, decent homes, and good education. King and the SCLC launched the Poor People's Campaign, demanding an economic bill of rights for all Americans. His vision expanded. The fight was now for justice for all people, not just African Americans. King saw that racism and poverty were linked, and both had to be defeated. The movement was evolving, reaching for a broader dream. King's leadership inspired new hope for a fairer society. The fight for justice was growing stronger. The world was watching. The dream was alive. In 1968, Dr. King, a beacon of hope and change, journeyed to Memphis, Tennessee. He went there to stand in solidarity with the striking sanitation workers who were fighting for fair wages and safer working conditions. Their struggle resonated deeply with his broader vision of economic equality. This act of support was a crucial part of his continuing fight for economic justice, a battle he believed was intrinsically linked to racial equality. He saw economic empowerment as a vital tool for uplifting marginalized communities. On April 3rd, in what would be his final public address, he delivered his powerful, "I've been to the mountaintop" speech, speaking of the promised land, a vision of equality and justice for all. He spoke with a sense of urgency and premonition, knowing the risks he faced daily as a leader in the civil rights movement. He understood the dangers inherent in challenging the status quo. The next day, tragedy struck. He was assassinated on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel, a devastating blow to the movement and the nation. At the time of his death, he was just 39 years old. Yet he had already left an indelible mark on the course of history. The nation mourned the loss of a visionary leader, a champion of peace, and a voice for the voiceless. His funeral was a testament to the profound impact he had on people from all walks of life. But even in the face of such immense grief, his message of nonviolence, equality, and hope endured, continuing to inspire generations to come. Coretta Scott King, his wife and partner in the struggle, along with other civil rights leaders, urged people to honor his memory by continuing his work peacefully, advocating for justice and equality through nonviolent means. Dr. King's legacy fundamentally changed America, dismantling legal segregation and challenging deeply ingrained prejudices. Landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act, which he tirelessly championed, opened doors of opportunity for millions of Americans, ensuring greater access to education, employment, and political participation. His dream, articulated so eloquently in his "I Have a Dream" speech, continues to inspire people worldwide to fight for justice, equality, and human dignity. We honor his extraordinary life and contributions with a national holiday, a day of service and reflection. We study his words, his speeches, and his writings in schools, ensuring that future generations understand his philosophy of nonviolence and his commitment to social justice. Yet the struggle for equality continues, reminding us that Dr. King's dream is not yet fully realized. There is still much work to be done to dismantle systemic inequalities and create a truly just and equitable society for all. Dr. King taught us the importance of standing up for what's right, even when it's difficult or unpopular. He emphasized the power of unity and the necessity of working together across racial and social divides to achieve freedom and justice for all. His life reminds us that one person's dream, fueled by courage and conviction, can indeed change the world, inspiring countless others to join the fight for a better future. The journey towards true equality and justice is not complete, and we must continue to strive towards that goal. But the dream lives on, carried forward by each new generation committed to building a more just and equitable world. We all have a role to play in building a just society, a society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive and reach their full potential. Free at last, free at last. His vision of a world free from injustice and inequality guides us still, urging us to continue the fight until his dream is fully realized.